Hey, Coach. Thanks for taking the time here. Just your initial thoughts on tonight's match.
Game of two halves, really, which I said to the players at the end of the game. I thought we didn't turn up in the first half, and then we put a little bit more of our how we want the game to be played. We put that into the game in the second half. But I said to the team at the end, like, this league's too unforgiving for that. You can't turn up in a first half the way we did and expect to get a result.
And on a bright spot, just do you have any words for Shea Holmes getting her first NWSL goal in this one? A bit chaotic there, but nice to see Shea.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I think that's something we've been talking about, is trying to get our wing-backs higher into the attack. And obviously Shea took that on, and, yeah, really happy for her.
Okay, we'll go over here to Grant.
Hey, Laura. Jess and Phoebe mentioned Rosemont Kawasi in particular, giving you guys some difficulties out there. What did you see from Kawasi on the night?
Yeah, I mean, she's a good player. She's direct and dynamic. I thought she was a threat in the first half, way more than she was in the second half. And, you know, our philosophy is always prevention is better than cure. You can't stop people like her, you know, when they get going. So how do you prevent them getting in the spaces that they want to get into? How can you limit the time that they have when they get it? And we did a better job of that in the second half.
And we'll go here to Marissa.
Hi, thank you for your time. Jess and Phoebe both mentioned that they thought the team hurt themselves more than the Spirit did. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Tonight we saw Sally Menti get her first couple minutes with the Reign. What were you looking for her to do, especially when we were so desperate for an equalizer?
Just a little bit of quality higher up. I thought Maddie Darlene was tired, just to trying to add another dynamic of getting another attack-minded player on the field. And Sally's been training really well and showing her quality in training. So, yeah, we felt like it was an opportunity to get her on the field.
Just mentioned that you guys didn't necessarily generate the best chances, but got into some areas where you need to then take the chances or get some shots off. I know we've talked to you so many times over the years about generating chances, but what are you seeing with this current group that you want to see improve when it comes to goal scoring? Because obviously you've got the 1-0 results and those are fine, but you've talked about it. You need to get more than just that.
Yeah, I think honestly, this sounds a little bit off, but I think our momentum and our mentality comes from defending. I think when we press high, when we force the opponent to give us the ball back, that's when we gain the chances. And it makes sense because they're expansive and they don't have as many numbers behind the ball. I think people know the threats we have when we're attacking, and they try and stop those spaces opening up, which of course. So if we can win the ball in the defensive moments and transition on them, I think that's when we get the best opportunities. I felt tonight there was a few times we did that. In the first half, we forced that and gave the ball back to them, and I think they even scored off one of those. So, yeah, I think that's the key for us. It's hard to break teams down when they're not pressing you and there's not a lot of space. But if you can win the ball off them when they're expansive and they're giving you a load of space, that's where our players can come alive. And in the second half, I think that's what you saw.
And just if you could give some insight. Emery gets the start in this one. Lynn comes off the bench. Is it just something you wanted to see look-wise? Did Lynn pick up a knock?
No, just management, to be honest. Lynn has been managing, not an injury, but something, and 90 minutes every week is not something she can do right now. And she's one of those players that when you start, a bit like Maddie Darlene, but when you start them, you don't want to bring them off, because if you need a goal, like tonight, you want her on the field. And if you're winning, she's the best presser in world football probably. So it's hard to get her off the field. So the only way to really manage her is to not start her sometimes.
Hi, Coach. I was just wondering about the first 15 minutes, Kawasi was causing a lot of problems on the Reign's left side. how do you adjust for that and make sure that those players aren't getting cooked every time that ball's coming down there?
It's prevention. Honestly, I thought Bernal in the first half dictated the game. And in the second half, I don't think she played forward once. The reality of this game is for Kouassi to be effective, someone's got to give her the ball. And we didn't do a good enough job of stopping that from happening in the first half.
And then this is your last home match, I believe, until August. What have you liked from your group as we go into this 3 road matches in June? And how do you prepare for that? Obviously, it's kind of weird because you have the 3 matches on the road and then there's the July off. Just how do you feel with where your group is at right now after this one?
Yeah, I just said to them at the end, I think our inconsistencies is what's hurting us. We play Kansas, we turn up, we do well, we're resilient, we're gritty, we show a bit of quality. Next week, we go to Houston, we play Houston, we don't turn up. We go to Louisville, a lot of things happening. We showed a ton of resiliency and grit, and we spoke about it all week. We have to keep that and show our quality. And I thought we did that in the second half today, but we didn't do that in the first half. So that's the key, is how do we show that consistency on being resilient, being gritty, being hard to beat, and show our quality? Because when we get those things matched together, we win games. When we don't do those things, we don't. And we didn't do that for 45 minutes tonight, and we got punished for it.